SpongeBob SquarePants Mysteries Find a Missing Star. Chapter 3. The next day at the Krusty Krab, Mr. Krabs held a meeting with Bikini Bottom's mayor in his office. Holding his top hat in his lap and stroking his beard and mustache, the mayor described how he wanted the Krusty Krab to host a special event in just a few days' time and feed the guests lots of delicious Krabby Patties. Mr. Krabs tried not to drool greedily, thinking of the big fat fee he'd charged the mayor for hosting the event and providing the food. Wiping his mouth with his claw, he asked, just what is the special event, Mr. Mayor? A celebration of Bikini Bottom's founding? The mayor shook his head. Oh, no, he said. It's much more important than that. We're celebrating the anniversary of me being elected mayor. I see, Mr. Krabs said, standing up to shake the mayor's fin and escort him to the door. Well, don't you worry, Mr. Mayor. This is going to be the greatest event in Bikini Bottom's history. Splendid, Krabs, the mayor said, smiling and tipping his top hat. I knew I could count on you. You run your restaurant like a tightly run vessel. Always ship-shape. Arg-ga-ga-ga-ga-ga-ga. Mr. Krabs chuckled. That I do, Mr. Mayor, that I do. But when he opened his office door, the two of them saw a scene of absolute chaos. Customers were mobbing Squidward's workstation, both shaking their fists and screaming, We want Krabby Patties! We want Krabby Patties! Where are our Krabby Patties? Squidward was cowering, trying to hide behind his cash register. The mayor's eyes grew wide. What is this? What's going on? Oh, nothing, Mr. Krabs assured the mayor as he hurried him toward the front door. Just a little, emergency drill. Those aren't customers. They're actors. Gotta be prepared for anything, you know? That's how I keep the Krusty Krab running ship-shape. He hurried back, shouting at the rioters. Okay, everybody, nice work. Let's take it again from the top, but this time even angrier. Don't be afraid to grab Squidward and shake him. Oh, the mayor said, looking back over his shoulder as Mr. Krabs sold him out the restaurant. I see. Very convincing. I thought it was a real riot. You must have hired very good actors. Oh, definitely. All big stars. Award winners. Nothing but the best for the Krusty Krab. Mr. Krabs said, scooting him through the open glass doors. Okay, Mr. Mayor. See you at your big expensive event. He pulled the front doors closed, turned and put his back against them so no one else could come in. Squidward! He roared. What in the briny blue sea is going on in me restaurant? Where are these customers' Krabby Patties? Ask SpongeBob! Squidward yelped as the mob dragged him over the counter of his workstation and tossed him in the air. Wah! Help! We want Krabby Patties! We want Krabby Patties! The furious customers chanted, pumping their fists and stomping their feet. Mr. Krabs rushed into the kitchen to see what his fry cook was up to. When he got in there, he saw a disturbing sight. SpongeBob was sitting on the wooden floor in a puddle of his own tears, wailing, ah, where are you? In front of him was a lumpy statue of Patrick that SpongeBob had formed out of raw Krabby Patties. 2 round tomato slices and 2 round pickles acted as the statue's eyes. SpongeBob had drawn a mouth with ketchup and stuck in pieces of white onion as teeth. He'd even used lettuce for the statue's green shorts. SpongeBob! Mr. Krabs bellowed. What's the meaning of this? Why have you used perfectly good Krabby Patties to make a statue of Patrick? Krabby Patties are for customers, not works of art. Because, Mr. Krabs, SpongeBob sniffed. The real Patrick is missing! This Krabby Patty Patrick is the only friend I've got right now! Lifting SpongeBob to his feet, Mr. Krabs said, Pull yourself together, boy! There are hungry customers out there! You've got to fry them up some food! Besides, we've got to keep you at the top of your game so you'll be ready for the mayor's big anniversary party! SpongeBob blew his nose. Oh, Mr. Krabs, he said miserably. I'm way too depressed to cook. What? Mr. Krabs cried. I can't possibly cook a single Krabby Patty until Patrick is found. No way! Mr. Krabs stared at SpongeBob. He never before seen him so utterly depressed. This called for drastic measures. He put his arm around the little fry cook and walked him out of the kitchen and into the dining area. The eating area. Then you'll have to find him right away, Mr. Krabs said firmly. Go find Patrick just as quick as you possibly can so you can get back to frying up Krabby Patties. The mob of angry customers was still shouting in protest at the lack of food, but Mr. Krabs just ignored them. They were tossing Squidward high into the air and catching him when he fell. Mostly. You mean it, Mr. Krabs? SpongeBob said, perking up a little. Sure, Mr. Krabs said. Now go on and find your friend before I change my mind, and be quick about it. SpongeBob hurried out the door. Squidward managed to escape from the clutches of the furious throng long enough to crawl across the floor to Mr. Krabs. SpongeBob's leaving? Does this mean I don't have to work either? Yes, Mr. Krabs agreed. Huzzah! Squidward cheered, leaping in the air and punching his fists in triumph. Because you're going to help SpongeBob find Patrick, Mr. Krabs continued. What? Squidward protested, freezing in place. Why? Because I said so, or else you're fired, Mr. Krabs shouted. I need me Fry Cook to be at his very best for the mayor's big expensive anniversary party. SpongeBob has got to be happy, excited, and full of energy so he can fry up a great big batch of delicious Krabby Patties for the mayor's guests. And that's where you come in. Me? Squidward whined. Why me? Since when have I ever been good at making SpongeBob happy? Or myself? Or anybody for that matter? Mr. Krabs put his face so close to Squidward's that their noses bumped. Listen, Squidward, you're going to help SpongeBob and get him back to his old self, and you're going to like it! Squidward gulped. This is clearly outside my job description. Oh, really? Mr. Krabs said, whipping a piece of paper out of his pocket. We'll just see about that. I happen to have your job description right here. He pulled out a pen and started writing. In addition to taking the customer's order and money, the Krusty Krab cashier is responsible for keeping the Fry Cook happy and performing at the very tippy top of his abilities. He held the paper in front of Squidward's eyes for him to read. There, it's in your job description. Satisfied? But, Mr. Krabs, Squidward said, switching tactics. My idea of fun is wearing my bathrobe while listening to Kelpie G. You'd be way better at cheering SpongeBob up. Why don't you go along with him to find Patrick? Mr. Krabs snorted. Oh, me? Don't be ridiculous. Someone's got to stay here and prepare the Krusty Krab for the big event. You check in with me and let me know how it's going so I can be sure we'll be ready for the mayor's anniversary party. Got it? Slumping over in misery, Squidward said, I got it. He slowly started to walk out of the Krusty Krab. Oh, why must I spend my life forever yoked to the world's most irritating sponge? Mr. Krabs realized he needed a little more enthusiasm from Squidward if he was going to be any help at all finding Patrick and reporting in on SpongeBob's progress. And listen, Squidward, if you do a really good job... Squidward turned back looking slightly interested. Mr. Krabs tried to think of what he could offer Squidward that would motivate him, but not cost any money. Looking around for inspiration, he spotted SpongeBob's statue of Patrick through the ordering window into the kitchen. Artwork! That was it! He'd been hearing Squidward drone on and on about his art for years. Let you display some of your artwork at the mayor's party. Squidward brightened up considerably. There's sure to be fancy citizens at the mayor's party, he thought. When they see my artwork, they'll want to know who made it. Maybe they'll even buy it. I'll be a famous artist. I won't have to work at the Krusty Krab anymore. With SpongeBob. Alright, Mr. Krabs, Squidward agreed, trying to play it cool. That sounds okay to me. How about if I also play my clarinet and do a modern dance? Don't push it, Mr. Krabs growled. Now go help SpongeBob find Patrick! Rolling up his sleeves, he turned back to deal with a mob of angry customers. Squidward practically skipped out of the restaurant, dreaming of his future as a famous artist. Stay tuned for Chapter 4, coming up soon.